Have you ever wondered where the energy in your food comes from? Or how a tiny blade of grass can support a huge lion? It all comes down to the flow of energy through an ecosystem, and it's a fascinating journey. Let's break it down. It all starts with the sun. The sun is the ultimate source of energy for almost all life on Earth, but we can't just soak up sunlight for lunch, right? That's where producers come in. Producers are organisms like plants, algae, and some bacteria. They are the geniuses of the natural world because they can perform photosynthesis. They take the sun's light energy and convert it into chemical energy in the form of sugar, or glucose. This process is the foundation of the entire food web. Think of producers as the ecosystem's power plants, generating the fuel for everyone else. Next up, we have the consumers. Consumers are organisms that can't make their own food, so they have to eat other organisms to get energy. We can divide them into a few groups. First, there are the herbivores, or primary consumers. These are the plant eaters, like rabbits munching on clover or deer grazing in a forest. They get their energy by eating the producers. Then, we have the carnivores, which are secondary consumers. These are the meat eaters that prey on herbivores. A fox that eats a rabbit is a secondary consumer. But it doesn't stop there. An eagle that eats the fox would be a tertiary consumer. And some ecosystems might even have quaternary consumers. This sequence of who eats whom is called a food chain. For example, grass is eaten by a grasshopper, which is eaten by a frog, which is eaten by a snake. Now, in reality, it's a bit more complex than a straight line. Most animals eat more than one type of food. So, we often talk about a food web, which is a whole network of interconnected food chains. It shows how energy branches out in many different directions. But what happens to the energy at each step? Here's the key rule. Energy transfer is not 100% efficient. In fact, only about 10% of the energy from one level is passed on to the next. The other 90% is used by the organism for its own life, processes like moving, breathing, and keeping warm or it's lost as heat. And this is known as the 10% rule. It explains why there are fewer predators at the top of the food chain than there are plants at the bottom. There's simply not enough energy to support a massive population of top predators. Finally, what happens when organisms die? That's where the decomposers step in. Fungi and bacteria are the cleanup crew of the ecosystem. They break down dead plants, animals, and waste products, returning essential nutrients back into the soil. This allows producers to grow, and the whole amazing cycle of energy flow starts all over again. So from the sun, to the plants, to the animals, and back to the soil. Energy flows in a continuous, one-way path, sustaining all life as we know it. Pretty cool, right? If you found this interesting, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Science Explained Simply. Thanks for watching.